Hello and welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the news from SABA satellite channel from Marib. Here are tonight's top stories.
Member Presidential Leadership Council Al-Khambashi emphasizes education as a key priority for sustainable development.
Prime Minister Al-Zindani meets U.S. Ambassador to discuss bilateral cooperation and support for Yemen.
Yemenis in matter voices solidarity with Saudi Arabia, condemn Iran attacks. Welcome back. Member PLC Hadramaut Governor Salim Al-Khambashi emphasized that the education sector holds top priority in the local government's agenda, calling it the cornerstone for human development and sustainable growth. Al-Khambashi led a wide-ranging discussion addressing the challenges faced by teachers in the region, particularly focusing on the need for quick and effective solutions to maintain educational stability. The meeting also explored the local government's significant financial investment, ensuring the payment of contracted teacher salaries to fill gaps and maintain the ongoing education process. The governor highlighted the need to address the current issues, such as the status of contracted and seconded staff, by forming a dedicated committee to tackle these challenges. Minister of Local Administration also affirmed the government's support for Hadramaut's efforts, stressing the importance of collaboration between central and local authorities to improve the educational environment. The meeting concluded with a set of proposals aimed at enhancing teacher training, improving school infrastructure, and ensuring better coordination to stabilize and elevate the quality of education across the region.
Prime Minister Dr. Shaya Al-Zindani met with U.S. Ambassador to Yemen Stephen Fagan to discuss ways to strengthen bilateral relations and deepen cooperation. The two sides reviewed the ongoing efforts to stabilize Yemen and enhance governmental institutions. Al-Zindani expressed high gratitude for the U.S. support, particularly highlighting its backing for the Yemeni government's efforts to stabilize the country and build its institutions.
The Prime Minister reaffirmed the government's commitment to improving essential services, boosting security and enhancing public revenues to meet its obligations toward the Yemeni people. Ambassador Fagan reiterated the U.S. government's continued support for Yemen's journey towards stability and its institutions' development. He assured that cooperation between the two countries will persist, especially in overcoming the challenges Yemen faces during this critical time.
The government has strongly condemned Iran's ongoing destructive policies, rejecting the repeated attempts to drag Yemen and the region into conflict through their proxy Houthi militias. In a firm statement, Yemen stressed that any military action outside of the state's sovereignty is illegal and undermines the nation's security and stability. The government reaffirmed that the decision of war and peace is a sovereign right for Yemen alone. Any military action by the Houthi militia alignment with Iran is seen as an effort to weaken the country and divert attention from Iran's growing regional challenges. Yemen has called on its citizens, particularly in Houthi-controlled areas, to reject these divisive policies and resist being used as pawns in foreign wars. The government also urged the international community to take strong measures against these violations, in turn full support for Yemen's efforts to regain its institutions and restore peace, security, and development across the country.
Yemen has emphasized the need for meaningful reforms in the World Trade Organization, WTO, to ensure a fair and balanced approach to all member states. During the 14th Ministerial Conference held in Yaoundé, Cameroon, Yemen reaffirmed its commitment to pushing for changes that strengthen the international trade system in a way that benefits all nations, especially developing and least developed countries. Minister of Industry and Trade Dr. Mohammed Al-Ashwal highlighted the urgency of updating international trade rules to address the rapidly changing global economic landscape. He called for greater inclusivity and fairness, urging the WTO to implement trade facilitation agreements that provide preferential treatment for developing regions, helping them integrate more effectively into the global economy. The discussions also explored the significance of restoring confidence in the multilateral trading system and ensuring that the WTO's foundational principles of transparency and non-discrimination are fully upheld. Yemen's position aligns with the broader Arab and least developed countries' group priorities, advocating for reform that address the challenges and aspirations of all nations, especially in terms of technical and financial support for developing countries.
Minister of Defense Tahir Al-Uqaili held an extensive meeting with the leadership of the 2nd Military Region to review combat readiness and the current status of military units across various regions. The meeting focused on addressing key challenges and identifying critical needs for the military units, with an emphasis on enhancing operational and logistical capabilities to improve preparedness for national duties. Al-Uqaili received detailed briefings on the operational conditions, challenges faced by the units, assuring that the ministry is committed to removing obstacles and providing the necessary resources to support the armed forces. He praised the heroic efforts and sacrifices made by the personnel of the 2nd Military Region, acknowledging their steadfastness in fulfilling their national responsibilities.
At the opening of Arab Youth Forum for Peace and Security in Algiers, Minister of Youth and Sports Naif Al-Bakri emphasized the crucial role of empowering Arab youth politically and economically as the foundation for a better future. Speaking virtually at the forum, which is being held under the theme Partners for Peace, Youth Shape the Future, Minister Al-Bakri highlighted the need for youth participation in decision-making and their role in promoting peace and stability in the region. He noted the ongoing challenges in several Arab countries, including Yemen, stressing that investing in youth talents and creating job opportunities are central to achieving stability and development. The Ministry of Youth and Sports in Yemen, he stated, is working on a comprehensive national strategy to empower youth in collaboration with local and international organizations. Minister Al-Bakri also praised Algeria's experience in fostering peace and security, calling for the establishment of a regional network to address youth issues across the Arab world, with the goal of enhancing security, peace and development.
As regional tensions continue to cast a shadow over the wider Middle East, public expressions of solidarity are taken and added significance. In Maghreb Governorate, large crowds gathered in mass rally to voice support for Saudi Arabia and condemn the repeated Iranian attacks targeting the kingdom. More details in the following report.
In Maghreb Governorate, large crowds gathered in a public rally to express solidarity with Saudi Arabia and condemn what participants described as repeated Iranian attacks on the kingdom. The demonstration reflected a strong message of support from Yemenis in Maghreb, who said any threat to Saudi Arabia's security also threatens the wider region and undermines regional stability. Speakers and participants stressed that relations between Yemen and Saudi Arabia are deeply rooted in long-standing historical ties, shared interests, and what they described as a common destiny in confronting regional challenges.
We salute King Salman and Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman, along with all the leadership in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia and Arab states. We strongly condemn the attacks carried out by Iran against the kingdom and other Arab countries. Today, the many people express their solidarity, as they are our brothers, bound to us in spirit and blood, who have sacrificed alongside us in the struggle to restore the state and the republic. These attacks are an assault on all of us. Here in this governorate, as part of the Yemeni people, we express our deep appreciation and gratitude to our brothers in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia for their support and efforts alongside us over the past years.
The rally coincided with the 11th anniversary of the Operation Decisive Storm, with participants expressing appreciation for Saudi Arabia's role in supporting Yemen during years of conflict and hardship. The gathering also carried a broader political message, reaffirming support for state institutions, regional security, and Arab solidarity, while rejecting efforts to destabilize the region through cross-border escalation and unrest.
In a concerning development, the Houthi militias have further escalated tensions in the Middle East by launching a missile at Israel on Saturday, drawing Yemen into ongoing regional conflict. The Houthis have claimed responsibility, justifying the attack as a reaction to military actions across Lebanon, Iran, and Palestine. However, their actions are now dragging Yemen deeper into a dangerous geopolitical crisis that could have severe consequences for the country. Yemen has already been struggling with the aftermath of the war, and this new involvement in the Israeli-Iranian conflict threatens to exacerbate the suffering of Yemen's citizens. The continued escalation risks further destabilizing Yemen, which is already grappling with one of the world's worst humanitarian crises, due in part to the actions of the Houthi militias.
The Masamdi mining project in Yemen has issued a stark warning regarding the dangers of landmines and exploded ordnance UXOs that may be carried into new areas by heavy rainfall. As the country experiences torrential rains in the governorates of Marib, Shabwa, Al Jawf, Taiz and Al Hudaydah, floodwaters are moving mines from previously contaminated areas into villages, roads and farming zones, posing a grave risk to civilians' lives. The threat is especially high in agricultural and grazing areas where civilians unknowingly encounter these deadly remnants. Masam has called on all citizens to be extra cautious and avoid touching or moving any suspicious objects, as some mines may be hidden under mud or debris from the floods, making them even harder to detect. The project has emphasized the importance of staying away from the flood channels and open areas after rainfall, and advises against grazing or collecting food in areas that haven't been cleared for mines.
That was the news bulletin from SABA Saturday Night Channel from Matter. Thank you for watching and have a good time.